Hey guys, very good morning and welcome to a new daily market outlook. So yesterday I did mention that I was waiting for those euro-dollar shorts on Discord. So I am still waiting for some euro-dollar shorts. For that we need the DXY to drop a little bit down lower. So let's see if that's going to happen. And yeah, let's just see what the other dollar pairs are doing as well. So let's dive straight in. So to begin with, of course, the dollar index, and as we can see yesterday, the dollar index gave a little bit of a push back down in towards lows with some bearish selling pressure. However, this was swiftly met with some bullish buying pressure. So we're currently situated back at the same level as we started off in yesterday. So what I'm expecting for now, well, as we can see, the daily closed bearish yesterday, and today's candle has just been moving up in towards the highs without really forming that lower wick, which is needed in most instances to make a push either up or down. So over here, what you can see is that we have made those lower wicks before pushing up higher. And as we can see over here, we made that upper wick before pushing back down. So this wick doesn't really have a wick to the bottom, so I still want that to be formed essentially, and this would go hand in hand, with one more push back down in towards lows, which would then push euro dollar up higher and would potentially give us that entry that we are looking for. So a push down lower on the dollar index would be beautiful in towards the 786, because as we can see over here, this candle reacted to nothing, to this clean move. And what you preferably want to see is that when price reverses from a level and you really want to see a full-blown reversal, you want to see it reversing from, let's say, an imbalanced candle, because those reversals will always have the highest probability. So therefore, I'm just currently waiting for this candle to push down a little bit lower, back down in towards preferably that 786, and then see the next leg up in towards the highs. We would then potentially also be forming some sort of a descending channel or wedge. Let me just draw that one in for you guys. If I just delete this line, what you then have is it potentially this trend line over here, then this line over here. So kind of like an expanding pattern. Not a fan of those, but it is possible to happen, and it would look like something like this. Maybe see a fake out on that second low, then up, or just a push in towards that 786, maybe even in towards this lower zone before then heading up higher. Of course, it doesn't need to happen. Let's say we just start flipping bullish, we just start breaking up in towards the highs, create a new higher high. We could of course just start pushing up higher, but this has my preference. One more push down lower before heading up higher potentially. So with that said, let's head over to Aussie dollar. So Aussie dollar is currently reacting to our drop-based drop zone. Absolute perfection, as we can see at the moment, just dropping. And what is also very beautiful is that we are reacting to this swing high. As we can see, we exactly took out the swing high, so the stop losses got taken out. After that, we reversed back down in towards lows. So this could be the start of a reversal. However, what I am a bigger fan of is, of course, a nice pattern in towards the highs, right? So preferably what you now want to see is that slowly corrective price action in towards the highs before then dropping. So let's say making that third trend line touch of this overall greater trend line. That would be, of course, or that would have my preference. And that is essentially also what I'm just going to be waiting for. At the moment, we did form some sort of a lower time frame channel / wedge over here. So we don't necessarily need to start pushing up higher, but once again, as you guys can see, no clear impulse in towards lows without any clear retracement. Overall, just pretty messy price action. So therefore, I'm just going to be waiting on this pair for it to move up higher and form something more beautiful. But yeah, it could start dropping from here because, as I told you guys, we have now reacted to our minor zone alongside taking out the swing high. So there is a probability of it pushing down lower. But I will get into those shorts if we form lower time frame structure, which is going to tell us, okay, well, we are ready to push back down. So for instance, seeing a clean impulse in towards the lows, then a correction in the form of, let's say, a channel or a wedge, then take a short. But I'm not going to be shorting this kind of price action. So yeah, that is Aussie dollar. Let's head over to euro dollar. And euro dollar is looking pretty sexy at the moment. As you guys can see, we are rejecting this 618 fib level alongside the swing high that we had over here. Currently just waiting it to push a little bit higher before being able to give that short call on Discord. So what I'm waiting for essentially is just one more push up higher to then go short. I want to see this swing high over here get taken out, then I'm going to start looking for those shorts. So this is something that I'm also looking for on Aussie dollar, for instance, right? A nice channel or wedge in towards the highs. So at the moment we are not ready yet. We need to still take out this high before going short, so that just be clear. If we do tank lower, fine with me, then I'll just look for a new setup in the form of something like this. But for now, we just need to take out this high before going short. So yeah, that is euro dollar, pretty easy. So let's head over to pound dollar. So pound dollar is just consolidating like a madman, as we can see over here, just in this range. Not much to be said about it. Going back in towards the 1 hour, I was looking at this trend break over here, trendline break alongside a trend break to then go short. However, the correction was just pretty choppy overall. Could have taken a short over here. So what we essentially had was kind of like this 1, 2, 3, but I was just waiting for the dollar index to be a little bit more clear. Didn't want to risk it on this setup, but it did essentially at the end of the day look good to short from up here. What we also had was, of course, these imbalances, or this imbalance candle up above the 618. So over here, this would have been your short over here with the long side, the imbalance. Yeah, this was a beauty of a setup. Didn't take it personally. Like I said, it was just not clear enough for me. But if I look at it in hindsight, probably could have taken it low risk. But yeah, it is what it is. Didn't take it, so no need to keep on going about it. On towards the next one. So for now, we're just consolidating. So not much to be said. Just gonna be waiting for new structure to form until we can anticipate or take any trades on this pair. Preferably a push up higher would still be nice in towards this imbalance up above over here. So as we can see over here, this wick just missed that box. So going to be waiting for it to get touched. So that said, let's head over to Kiwi dollar. And Kiwi dollar. So Kiwi dollar reacted beautifully to this swing high and the 618 fib level. As we can see, got that bearish 4 hour close. At the moment, looking at the 1 hour, it's just consolidating, very similar to pound dollar. So looking at the lower time frame, because that's the most interesting part. So the lower time frame is actually descending corrective, right? So we're seeing a descending correction, which is in most instances a bullish sign. So not really any sign of bearish momentum to kick in at the moment. It's looking more bullish than bearish essentially. So we could still see that push up higher alongside that dollar index push down. So maybe just a little bit of a push down towards the beginning of the New York session, or the London session, excuse me. See a fake out on that second low and then start moving up higher, potentially in towards supply, because guys, that supply area is where I am going to start looking for those longer term shorts back down in towards the lows. So yeah, let's see what happens. As I said, it is looking more bullish than bearish on the lower time frame, but that mainly just has to do with the nature of the correction. So even though we saw this trendline break, just going to delete that, the nature of the correction is descending, which is a sign of bullishness to come. So let's see what happens. If this correction were to be, let's say, ascending, I would have been more bearish, but yeah, it is descending, so not very bearish at the moment. Yeah, just going to be waiting. Let's say we break out towards the downside, then of course I will start looking for those shorts if supply is formed above over here alongside the 618. But yeah, for now it is descending, so let's just wait for the breakout in towards the highs, wait for supply to get reached to take those high probability shorts. So I'm fine with both scenarios, but let's just see what happens. Let's wait and see. Euro dollar is looking the best for today, so I'm going to update you guys if we get that set up, and I'm going to let you guys know if I enter or not. So yeah, that is that. Last pair, which is gold, of course. Gold is nothing at the moment for me, just making a retracement back down in towards lows. Pretty nice. I am for now looking at this key level over here for me, 1788. So waiting for that 1788 to then potentially look for a long, maybe. That's kind of like the area that you want to go long from. So let's see if we reach that level, 1788. As we can see, 1804 has held beautifully as resistance. So yeah, pretty nice to see. Let's just wait what happens once we see that retracement, and the nature of the retracement, of course, that's gonna point out everything on where we are gonna be heading next. So let's see. That was that for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Wish you all an amazing day, and we will speak soon. Thanks, guys.